Welcome to Action Network's coverage of the 2022 Breeders' Cup presented by Twin Spires. I'm Brendan Glasheen, today joined by Mike Conti and Mike Somich to discuss their favorite exotic picks for this weekend's races. Before we get started, because this can get a little complicated when it comes to exotics, so we'll go to Mike Conti first. Can you give some tips, some advice, or just an approach as to how you go about placing exotic bets?
First and foremost, it starts with your bankroll, right? What's your bankroll for the weekend and where are your strong opinions? How are you going to make money on those strong opinions, right? First and foremost, if you have a strong opinion that's 4, 5 or greater to 1, go make a win bet, right? Don't be silly about it. Take the money where it is and where you feel strongly about it. And then, yeah, of course, you want to save some of your bankroll to take some bigger swings, meaning, hey, they're riskier bets. They're the parlay type bets that are going to pay out balloons if you hit, especially on a weekend like Breeders' Cup.
How about Mike Somich, your advice, tips when it comes to placing exotic bets?
Know the betting card, especially on a weekend like this, where you've got multiple day doubles. You've got the distaff into the juvenile fillies into the distaff. You've got the juvenile colts into the classic. You've got 2-day pick 4s. You've got a 2-day pick 6. You've got a single day pick 6. You've got all turf pick 4 on Saturday. You've got 3 pick 4s on Saturday, 3 pick 5s on Saturday. All of them have different takeouts. So that's the percentage of money that is held in the pool by the racetrack. Find the best bets with the lowest takeout. And you can find that on breederscup.com. Find the lower takeout bets. So you are essentially giving the least amount of money to the racetrack when you're trying to press your opinions in those multi-race bets.
Okay, without further ado, let's get some exotic picks for the Breeders' Cup. And we'll go to Mike Conti first. What do you have?
Yeah, so for Friday, my exotic that I really like, I'm taking a big stand. I'm playing a daily double starting in race 9, which is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I am going against the favorite in Cave Rock, going just to his outside with Forte at 4-1 and only playing Forte in that spot. I really like him. He's shown up the last 2 times. He's honestly never really ran a bad race. I love that he's won over this Keeneland track. 4-1. An amazing price on this horse who, if Cave Rock isn't in here, I think Forte is the favorite. So I will take 4-1 in Forte in race 9. And then the race 10 pick will actually, I'm going to go with 2 horses in here. I'm going to go number 4, Silver Knot. And I'm also going to go number 8, I'm Very Busy. I actually personally like number 8, I'm Very Busy more. The horse had a troubled trip last time out in the Pilgrim at Aqueduct, was over a yielding turf course. The horse exploded coming out of the turn. Looked like that he was going to go right by Major Dude, and Major Dude just dug in gamely. I think part of it was the trip. Part of it was a yielding turf course. You get I'm Very Busy back on a firm turf course. And at 9-2, I will take that daily double on Friday all day. So again, my daily double on Friday, race 9, number 4, Forte, into race 10, number 4, Silver Knot, with number 8, I'm Very Busy.
I wish I had a pen. It's like, not so fast, my friend. You know, I like the second half of the daily double. And I think that the idea behind it is correct. Look, if you either got to play Cave Rock, and my exotic is going to be playing Cave Rock, so we'll get there in a second, or you got to try and beat Cave Rock. You can't really use him in that spot in a daily double. So trying to find value by beating him and then having 2 horses that you like in the second race, I love the idea behind it. I think you're picking the wrong favorite to beat. My exotic on Friday, I'm going to play a Colt Exacta. I love these West Coast horses in these 2-year-old races, specifically the juvenile, the boys at 2-year-olds at the Breeders' Cup. Bob Baffert's dominated these races. Cave Rock looks like a freak. And on top of that, Speedboat Beach, Bob Baffert, not a great turf trainer, decides to take Speedboat Beach away from this group and send him into the juvenile turf sprint because he has Cave Rock in this spot. I think Cave Rock is going to roll and possibly be one of those superstars for our sport moving forward. I think the horse that ran second to him out in California is by far the second best horse in the race. And so give me National Treasure underneath. Give me the 310 Exacta Colt. And I love the fact that Forte's in here. And I liked Forte in the Sanford, where I thought he ran a sneaky good race. The speed really held that day. He was able to close. He validated that in the hopeful, came back and won the Breeders' Futurity in a great battle against Loggins. And everyone remembers that. But you go back and look at the numbers, they don't even come close to stacking up to what National Treasure did. So the other way to use a favorite and find value is to look for a horse that's not the second or even third choice and use that in a cold exacta, because you're going to get some value in that exacta. So I think Cave Rock is a legitimate favorite. I'm going to put him on top, but I'm going to fade Forte and Blazing Sevens, the two East Coast horses coming in here. I'm going to put National Treasure in the second spot and see if I can get a 6-1, 7-1 cold exacta with a horse I really like on top.
What about Saturday, just in case the people can't get around to Friday? Potentially, people have to work and stuff. Conti, what do you think for Saturday for an exotic?
Saturday, this is where I'm going to use part of this budget. I'm going to take a swing at the late all stakes, late all grade 1, pick 5, starting in race 7. So again, this is picking the winner in 5 consecutive races. You can pick multiple horses in each race, and I will explain my bet as well as how much it's going to cost. So it starts in race 7, which is the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Listen, to me, this is a one-horse race, especially with the scratch of Jack Christopher. I'm going Jackie's Warrior, right? He's been the best sprinter. He is the best sprinter. I don't think that Jackie will lose in here, and he's proven time and time again that he's one of the best sprinters, maybe of all time. So I will start there with the single with Jackie's Warrior. Next in race 8, I'm going to go 3 deep. As I mentioned earlier, one of my best bets, I'm going to go number 8, Regal Glory. I'm then going to go number 11, Annapolis, who's one of the speed horses in here. And then the big question mark all the way to the outside, Domestic Spending. If anybody's going to get a horse ready off of this long of a layoff, it's going to be Chad Brown at a price. I'm not willing to lose a pick 5 to Chad Brown on Breeders' Cup weekend coming off a long layoff. The third leg, race 9, we talked about this earlier as well. I am going to go with both Malathat and Nest in here. I don't want to get beat by Nest. I mean, she's looked like an absolute freak, but I do love Malathat in this spot, so I will go those 2 in there. Race 10, I'm going to spread a little bit more. I'm going to go 4 deep. I'm going to go number 2, Warlike Goddess. I'm going to go number 5, Rebels Romance. Number 7, who would be my top pick in there, Nation's Pride. And then number 11, Mishreef as well. I think this is a tough race. I think there's value to be had in this race. You've got a good mix of Euros as well as American horses. Warlike Goddess has really done nothing wrong up to this point. Nation's Pride has looked phenomenal. And here's where it's going to get interesting. And there are probably going to be people that scream at me and yell at me for doing this, but it's okay. I'm trying to extract value in this last leg. I am playing to beat Flightline in one pick 5, and I will include Flightline in another pick 5. But this ticket, this pick 5, I'm going Epicenter. He's done nothing wrong. He has, arguably, yes, we saw Rich Strike win the Derby. I mean, you could argue that Rich Strike, obviously crazy good race, like crazy good setup. Epicenter probably ran the better race, and he's shown up time and time again. He's a fighter. Gunrunner as a sire has just produced crazy numbers throughout this year with this 3-year-old crop. I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a stand. Flightline may be the best horse of our generation, of this lifetime. I get it. I'm trying to take some value. If you want to include Flightline in here, it's only going to double the cost of the ticket. So it's not like it's going to go crazy. If you go with the initial ticket without Flightline, it's a $12 ticket for 50 cents. If you want to include Flightline, it doubles it to $24. It shouldn't be a bankroll builder, but if it hits, have a value in there where you should get paid.
Yeah, I like the structure on it. I think that if you're going to try and play that late pick 5, you have to play it a lot of times, and then you can single Jackie's Warrior, you can single Nest, and you can single Flightline, or you have to beat at least one of them. And so I like the idea of trying to get around one of them. I think it's really aggressive to try and get around Flightline, but 95% of the pick 5 tickets are going to be through Flightline. So there's going to be value every other horse if you want to try and beat Flightline in that spot. It's aggressive, but it definitely will pay off if you can get through it.
Samich, I'll say this. I mean, Conti, he knows the card. You said a key to these exotic picks is you got to know the card. And that is a deep dive, my friend. Good stuff. All right, Samich, do you have an exotic for Saturday?
I do. So I'm going to go to race number 4, Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, and I'm going to play a $10 pick 4, and I'm going to get real skinny here and see if we can get through this. And it all hinges around the 5th race, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm going to start out the 4th race with the 2 Wesley Wards we mentioned in the best bet section. I'm going to start out with 15-1 Arrest Me Red and 2-1 Golden Pal. Just get through this leg with 2 horses on this ticket. The next race, the fifth race, the Dirt Mile, I think is really interesting. You have 3 horses that are going to be shorter prices in this spot, and I don't like any of them. And that's why we're going to try and play this specific pick 5. Your favorite's going to be the 7-horse Cody's Wish. Cody's Wish has never won at 2 turns. Neither has Laurel River. Neither is Gunite. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try and beat all of them. I'm sorry. Laurel River has won at 2 turns. Gunite has not. But Bob Baffert has had 10 starters in the Dirt Mile. None of them have hit the board. Those are your 3 favorites. Have never won at 2 turns, and Bob Baffert 0 for 10. So give me Cyberknife, who I think is getting a little bit forgotten in here. 9-2 on the morning line. This horse won the Haskell. This horse would be a competitor in the Classic, but decided to show up here in the Dirt Mile because he respects how deep, Brad Cox respects how deep that Classic is. I think Cyberknife at 9-2 is a horse you can single through here to create some serious value in this specific pick 4. We can move on to the 6th race here, the Breeders' Cup, Filly and Mare Turf. This is one of my best bets of the whole weekend. Nashwa coming over from Europe, you're getting 5-2 on the morning line. Let's single the 3, and then let's close it out. I agree with Conti here. Jackie's Warrior in the sprint is I believe, a lock in this spot. Last year, you saw Jackie's Warrior get demolished early because he was surrounded by speed on both inside and outside of him. Couldn't handle the pace pressure. There isn't that same pace pressure this year. Jackie's Warrior should be able to take this field gate to wire. So give me a $10 pick 4 starting in race number 4, 7, 8 with 9, with 3, with 9. It'll cost you $20. We're getting really skinny and just trying to hammer that opinion and get paid off on specifically on the 9-horse there in the second leg, which I will bet to win at 9-2. If you get Cyberknife at 9-2, throw a win bet in there that at least covers the cost of the bet.
Samich, Conti, excellent work throughout the course of these videos we've produced today. Exotics, best bets, and also the how-to video. I think that's very helpful. Those of you that are new to horse racing betting, a great insight in terms of just getting started. So, gents, thanks so much for the time. Great work. As a reminder, this video and all of our video series that we've done today, Action Network's coverage of the 2022 Breeders' Cup, presented by TwinSpires. They have a couple of awesome offers for both new and existing users this week. If you've never tried out TwinSpires, first, what are you waiting for after all that analysis? You can use code ACTIONRACING to get up to a $400 bonus. Every $400 you wager, it will unlock $100. And for existing users, they're giving you $10 money back if your horse finishes 2nd or 3rd in any race this weekend. Again, you want to use the code ACTIONRACING over at TwinSpires now and enjoy an awesome weekend of horse racing.